Hey everyone, this is Eric Miller, artist, upcycle designer, and an extreme DIY junkie. Now, a question that's often asked to me is when I do a pallet project is, Eric, how do you dismantle a pallet? So today we're going to do an instructional video on just how to do that, dismantling and demoing a pallet. What you're looking at right here is a hardwood pallet. This pallet's actually in really good condition, and it's going to make for some really nice projects. Tip number one is you always want to keep your pallet in the upright position like it is. I use this brick wall just to structure it, to give it that support when I work through it. A couple of other things that you're going to need is, first is going to be some glasses. Gloves are pretty much optional, but trust me, after doing it for a while you'll want it. A pry bar, a hammer, a sawzall with a demo blade, and always use boots. Being from Southern California, my temptation is to wear flip-flops with everything, but trust me, when you're doing a demo on a pallet, that doesn't work. You're bound to get a nail in your foot and you'll have another issue. Okay, so follow me on this. We're going to take our demo saw, and what you want to do is you want to start right at the front top of the pallet. Put your blade in between the support structure and your first slat, and then just work yourself down all the way through. It can go relatively quickly, and I'm going to do it quick just so you can get an idea of how quick it can be done. Okay, now you go to the back side. Okay, that's one support structure already done, and all those slats are in perfect condition. The temptation is, for a lot of people, is to take their hammer and they want to kind of beat a pallet apart. Anytime you do that, you're going to break the slat. This hardwood just doesn't stand up to a hammer beating like that. Okay, so now we're going to straighten up our pallet, do the other side. Okay, now that support is done. Okay, now set the demo saw aside. Grab your hammer and your pry bar, and you want to kind of loosen each slat, wiggle them back and forth. It kind of loosens up the nails, and it makes it a little bit easier for you to take your pry bar and get in between it and beat them apart. Okay, now take your pry bar and just start pounding through there. That very first nail, I actually broke it. I didn't pull it out so that I can get my pry bar behind it and do the same thing. And then you want to just take it and pry it slowly like that. It has a nail sticking out, so set it aside. Watch where you're stepping and just keep going through the whole pallet. Sometimes they're stubborn, sometimes they're not. This particular pallet is going to be a relatively easy one to take apart. So let's hope that we get all of the slats and see how that dropped. Sometimes if you don't have boots or some kind of shoes that protect your feet, that nail that's hanging out has a tendency to want to land someplace, and it has landed on my foot before. Another question that I get a lot is, what's a good pallet to use? when doing a project, I stay away from a pallet that is made out of a softer wood, out of a pine, for a couple of reasons. One, building furniture or projects out of that type of wood, aesthetically, they don't turn out as well. And two, a white wood and soft wood like that, if you're building something like a chair or a table or something that will need the support and strength of a good strong wood, they just don't hold up as well. Also, when these pallets age, they have a nice coveted ashy gray tone, and they look fantastic on your project. Okay, so this one here is giving us a little bit of a problem, and I feel that it's already cracked. And that, now it doesn't mean that the slat's not going to be any good. You can see that crack right there. It just means that whatever I use it on or nail it to, I'll either cut it just shy of that crack, or you be sure to nail it in a couple of places or screw it in a couple of places where that crack is. Okay. Okay, there's another one that ended up, and that's down. Sometimes they're stubborn. You can nail right through it, shear that nail off, and it'll come off with no problem. Now the last one. Okay, so there you have it. One demoed pallet, and we did it safely and relatively quickly. So if you like the things that we do, the projects we put out, and the designs that we have, please follow us on Facebook, on Pinterest, and on Blogger. Thanks for watching this instructional video, and we'll see you soon.